Hey everyone, I'm Army Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monsterlegends. Welcome to the Nemesis survival dungeon. I was asked to make commentary on these videos, and originally I just released them with music in the background because I didn't really know what I could say in terms of commentary because everyone has different monsters. So I guess the best I can do is just go through my thought process when I go through each and every single node. Now things are kind of easy for me because I do have this level 130 Ruby and I do have a Sammy. And yes, these three monsters are actually the three monsters I purchased. Everything else, all my other Nemesis monsters were completely free, but those three you see at the very beginning, these were all purchased. But I only purchased one copy of them. So this 130 Ruby, I did that myself through Elementium. Sammy, I did myself through Elementium. Actually, if you guys don't know, I'm notorious for hoarding. I don't like wasting resources unnecessarily, so I save up all my resources until I see that it is the perfect time to spend. So actually, if I look at my vault right now, look at all the Elementium I have saved up. That is just from countless saving and saving and saving. And over time, it just stacks up. I have 2,475. And then just look at my regular elemental cells also. I have a ton of them. Look at all my earth ones, my magic ones. I have a lot of magic cells because I got Charizard all the way through rank 4. And obviously, when you do the War Master dungeons, you get a lot of elemental cells. So if I wanted to, I could rank up quite a couple monsters all the way to rank 5 to level 130. But yeah, guys. And I've said this multiple times, back when the Nemesis monsters were like the main big deal, I would always advise everyone, if you ever plan on getting Nemesis, that's where your Elementium should be going towards. And I always recommended ranking up Ruby, ranking up Sammy. Faraday really didn't need to be ranked up in my personal opinion, that's why I still have mine at level 100. But anyhow, without further ado, I figured we would go through the dungeons, and I would just go through my thought process, and kind of give you guys what I think you should be doing in every single node. And again, it's kind of hard to give general advice because everyone has different monsters, but at the same time, you don't necessarily need to have like a 130 Ruby with level 10 runes. But if you feel like you need one, then like essentially save up for it, I guess, or spend money in the game and do buy Ruby because she could prove useful. But anyhow, this is my basic thought process. Since I have a level 100 monster, I need to give him a life rune so I make sure he does not die. And then I give him a team speed so he helps out my other monsters. And the strength helps so when he gets his turn in. In terms of relics, just work with whatever you have on your monster. Considering he is level 100, my Faraday, the Oblation Trap really works because when he takes damage, he might be able to drain enemy stamina. On Sammy, if you're running the Sammy, don't run any revival skills because you can't revive. The most useful skill in my opinion is Death Moratorium. Being able to regenerate life. Keep in mind this is a survival dungeon. Whatever happens at the end of a node, you go on for the rest of the nodes. So being able to start the game off with full life is always useful. Samurai Warrior will still be a very powerful skill, being able to churn transfer. Just be careful when you're facing Faradays. And then Pain and Pesty to remove negative effects from your team and remove positive effects from the enemy team. Super valuable. And then Pesty costs no stamina. Super amazing. And then as for Ruby, I like to run Ruby Explosion, laying odds, Total Exhaustion, Mineral Blood, but I will obviously change this. Sometimes I'll run single Ruby Implosion, sometimes I'll run the AoE Stamina Drain, Major Exhaustion, because it has a 1-turn cooldown, so it all depends on what are the conditions of the node. But typically my strategy is always look at the main denier and outspeed them, and if I can't outspeed them, what can I do to make sure I don't get denied hard? So again, with my monsters, it's definitely a lot easier than probably for a lot of you. But that is because I invest in Ruby, so my investment paid off. So I always do Explosion, and then I'll do Lane Odds. And then I'll do whatever I can with Sammy, and then I'll just do Lane Odds with Ruby, and then with the DLT and everything, that pretty much finishes off the enemy, at least in the first initial nodes. Like, all these are going to be super straightforward. Make sure to spin the wheel and get your free rewards, whatever they may be, if Stormbeard will give them to me. There we go. Because free stuff is always nice. I might walk away with a couple gems. You never know. So just a level 1 life rune, that's fine with me. And then we keep going. So I'm gonna also do this in like what, 6 parts, because I'm gonna go up until the boss node. So in this one, always look at the enemy speed, see what you have to work with. This is not too challenging. I'll click fight. And again, I pretty much always start the game off the same. I will do Ruby Explosion. Or actually, if I can't, I'll do Lane Odds. And then, lots of times, actually, I won't do Pesty. I'll actually do Samurai Warrior to turn transfer back. And with that increased accuracy, I know my next attack will not miss. Okay? So, and then, I don't know if I talked about Relics. But Relics, essentially, once again, work with what you have. So for me, Ruby, because I know Ruby will be out of stamina a lot, I like to give Ruby the Energizer Staff. So I know she starts the game off with stamina. because if she's below 25%, thanks to the Energizer staff, she'll recover stamina. Look at that, 54 points of stamina is given to all targets if any ally stamina is below 25%. And then I recently got Talonized Mask, so that can give me extra protection. But before this, I was actually using, I think I was using Exhausting Mask. That way, if Ruby ever took a hit, I would drain enemy stamina. And I might need to use this against those artifact monsters when I face Flamirion. Healing Mask I also recently got, and I could potentially also use this. So again, you work with what you have. If I know the enemy's faster than me, and I'm gonna need stamina, the Energizer Mask could come in. The Energy Mask could come in handy, because sometimes instead of running the Energizer Staff, sometimes I need to run the Oblation Staff to prevent the enemy from being able to attack me by draining their stamina. So again, at the end of the day, it's hard to give general advice, but work with what you have. That is the best advice. Look at the enemy, look at the fastest enemy. Can you outspeed it? If you can't outspeed it, how do you counter? Again, for me, because I do have the 130 Ruby, because I invested in 130 Ruby, this became very easy for me, or easier than probably for a lot of people. Check this out. Oh, one of the reasons I like to run Mineral Blood is because there are times when the turn order breaks, so it's me, and then the enemy, and then my Sammy. So sometimes I like to do Mineral to prevent the enemy monster from doing any attack, and then I can just summon a warrior, and then we can just proceed as normally. Ruby Explosion, Laying Odds, and that pretty much finishes them off. If it doesn't finish them off, typically the Ignition will, as you just saw right now. And again, just wait for the roulette wheel to spin. Spin, 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 whenever it spins, and hope for those gems. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Like, this is why I was kind of unsure about doing commentary. You know, it's pretty much the first few nodes is going to be me wiping the floors with Ruby, getting gems and orbs. Hopefully I don't die like from a Tinkerion ult or something. Let's see. When the turn order doesn't break it like that and Sammy and Ruby get a turn, it's just super easy. A lane ult, Samurai Warrior. Whoops, that's not Samurai Warrior. Samurai Warrior, Ruby Explosion, and everyone is pretty much dead. And again, look at Holter's Bodyguard. Even when he has stamina left, or even when he has HP left, I'll just recharge and the Ignition takes care of the rest. Super straightforward. Most of the time Faraday does not get used. It only gets a little more complicated in those nodes where the game starts off with the cooldowns activated, where I'm facing artifact monsters and Ruby Explosion doesn't work, and then I gotta be careful with who I actually do or who I actually target with Mineral Blood. But I would also like to say that thanks to having the ability to swap runes, the battles become a lot easier, because if I need Sammy to have more speed to give Ruby the first turn, I can do that. If I need to make my Ruby slower than Sammy and give Sammy speed, I can do that. I can swap out that level 10 life for a level 10 speed. Oh, the reason he has a life right now is because, again, I want him to stay alive. He's a monster that does Death Moratorium. If I'm facing monsters I can do cooldowns activated, or if there's a condition that starts the game off with cooldowns activated, I can always substitute, what's it called, Death Heal or Death Healing. I can always substitute Death Delay. All targets heal by 25%, no stamina, no cooldown. So I could always use that. So yeah, just play around with what you have. Again, the best advice I can give you guys. I'm a little disappointed, or a little sad, because I had the Mountain, this one, Mountain Splitter, or was it the other one? I recently crafted one away, or not crafted, I extracted one into South because he had 3 of my level 10 runes and I needed them. And now I kind of wish I hadn't done that, because I'm going to need them now. But I might just have to give this one the level 10 runes. So we'll see what happens with that once I approach that node. But let me just put Faraday back. Okay, and let's do this. So right here, Boltcaster and Life Melter. So I'll click Fight, and see, Boltcaster is one that I can do Mineral Blood. I can do Mineral Blood on Boltcaster, but I remember Boltcaster having 0 stamina skills and having 0 cooldown skills. I could be wrong. I could always check it if I was actually scared. But even if things don't go my way, like, it's not too harmful. So I'll just do Ruby Explosion. And he got stunned, fortunately. I'll Samurai Warrior and I'll do Laying Odds. Again, typical strategy. It's so straightforward. It's not really a strategy. Part of me feels like I could put it on auto and I would probably win. Like, that's probably wrong, but I don't know. I just feel like I can do that. So that was the boss node. That was boss node number 1. So I'm up to node number 5. Hopefully I walk away with some gems, and nope, a level 1 team stamina. So yeah, that concludes the first boss node. The condition was everyone reverts back to the younger form, which really doesn't do anything too much. The tougher nodes are the ones where, well, let's go through them. One of them, I think it's this one. I think the node number 25, I think, is a harder one because you face artifact monsters and then well, I don't want to give wrong information, so you guys can always check the other video or you can just wait till the commentary once I get there. But yeah, guys, hopefully you like this. Hopefully it's somewhat useful. Again, hard to give advice when everyone has different monsters, but if you really do think a 130 Ruby will help and a Sammy will help, then my advice to you would be to purchase one copy of them, or purchase the chests, I guess, because that's the only way to get them unless Social Point does something else. Or as of the time recording this video, they're having a birthday event, and in that birthday event there is a low chance to get a Nemesis, so maybe you'll walk away with a Nemesis. I don't know, guys, but I mean, typically the best way to get them is going to be to purchase the chest to get the cells, and then once you have one copy of them, that's really all you need. With that one copy, you can use your Elementium, use your magic cells, and rank them up all the way to 130. But you probably don't even need 130. You can probably do 120 in high level runes. Definitely Ruby really helps. Sammy really helps, and I think more than Faraday, I think Warthog helps the most because you're gonna need them for that one node that activates the cooldowns at the start of the battle. But anyhow, guys, with that being said, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you very much, and I hope you look forward to the next ones.